Just don't care.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And yes, I tried a mute today, and I got to say, like previously, I blocked people on Twitter, but I would still see stuff from them when other people shared it on occasion. I don't know how Twitter works like that, but I'd be like, oh. But I found muting them like totally cleaned up the timeline. I'm like, that's neat. I don't see the thing of Captain Spurg, who's out to self promote. So we got some super cool scripts today. We have some Demonatrix, which, as per usual, will be something we take a little later. I've been getting some positive feedback on. I think people like the fantasy script, so I'm glad.
Yeah.
I want to see where it goes.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be like a cool mini, because I was looking at Reaper's line. My first thing was let me, instead of sculpting one, they probably just have a mini I can just repurpose and say, here, this one. But I went and looked, and no, I didn't see any like hot women in catsuit with sword. And
that is a solvable problem.
Yeah.
And you should encourage them to solve that problem.
Exactly. I'm gonna bust on the market with hot woman in corseted catsuit and sword.
Yeah.
It's a shame we lost Lunga, because he was all into that printing stuff. You could have gotten your own little line in on custom printed minis.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if Lunga was interested in printing stuff for anyone else but himself. But
yeah. Lunga's he's not a
team
particularly generous person.
Well, I'm not saying you do it for free. I'm talking about
with his criticism.
Deal,
his criticism.
His criticism is free.
Gift that he just hands you and expects you to be thankful for.
I'm trying to promote, business relationships here, not getting to people diss on people.
Yes.
Well,
I'm not. Look. He owns that he is very free with his criticism, and that that is how he views the world. Unless he happens to be streaming with Ethan Van Sciver, at which point he's just wow, that's so good, Ethan. That's such a neat. Okay.
Hey.
Apparently, no criticism for that guy.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway,
this feels strangely like cloud chasing.
A little bit.
All right, so here we are looking at Skinny's script. Page 1 is really big and pronounced.
At least you know where it is.
We know where we are.
I kind of catered it these streams too, because sometimes some of these scripts, like I'm having to get really close to the monitor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, okay. Well, this time
you need to get your glasses out, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
You just need a bigger monitor. That's all.
Yes, 27-inch.
Hello, Bean. All right, Skinny. Who's narrating this hot mess? What do we got?
What?
I'll let
narrating?
Larry narrate.
Okay. Let's do this.
I'd like John to be Claude, and Danny, you want to do Wells?
Sure.
Kind of evil scientist guy.
Ooh, yeah, I got that.
Okay.
Quieter than usual, but I totally got that. I can science.
Now,
who is unknown?
Preston.
Awesome.
He can be the unknown.
You're the unknown man.
Yeah.
There you go.
Help somebody! Help!
There you go. Perfect.
All right, narrator.
His face really sold.
All right. Page 1, splash page. Interior Rains County Asylum. Staring down a sterile corridor, 2 buff orderlies make a mad dash further into the medical compound towards the screams for help.
Help somebody! Help!
Page 2, panel 1. One orderly smashes his shoulder into the door, trying to break it down with no luck. Orderly 2 screams down the hall frantically.
Somebody get us the damn keys.
There we go. Panel 2. Blood splatters onto the viewing window, with blood-curdling screams still emanating from within the room. Panel 3. Orderly 2 smashes into the door, a large blood stain starting to form on his shoulder. Blood splashes from the force of the impact. Orderly 1 is behind him with similar injuries.
All right.
Panel 4. Keys fly through the air towards Orderly 1.
Get that fucking door open now.
Panel 5. Orderly 1 winces from the pain, catching the keys while Orderly 2 steps back. Panel 6. Orderly 1 frantically shoves one key into the lock. Orderly 2 prepares to fight what is on the other side.
We're coming in.
Panel 7. Looking through the doorway from inside the room, the two orderlies look in shock with the looming shadow of Wells behind them. Sorry.
What the
fuck?
Page 3, panel 1. Claude, and nothing but stained tighty-whitey, sits crackling in the corner, his body emaciated.
Not emancipated.
Sorry, my bad. His eyes hollow. An empty plastic bottle of Lodine rolls away from him.
I believe it's iodine.
Is it iodine? Oh, sorry.
It is iodine.
Well, damn, I'm just screwing up all the night.
That's all right. That's all right.
My bad.
Damn Canadians. Don't know how to speak English.
I'm sorry. I'm on like 3 hours of sleep. Yeah. Anyway.
You need glasses.
I do need glasses, yeah. Sorry. Rolls away from his left knee, still dripping its remaining contents onto the floor.
Help me! You dumb cunts really fell for that, eh?
Panel 2, Wells, up close. A tough, grizzled, square face with a crew cut. Smirking, he rubbed his scruffy chin with the fingers of his left hand.
You know, that is a pretty good one there, Claude. I'd like to consider myself a good prankster, too.
Panel 3, Claude looks up towards Wells with a twinkle in his eye. He responds to Wells with such excitement and glee.
Oh, are we going to have so much fun than what I could have done with the other goons here? But you might not want to play once you know who I am.
Panel 4, Wells motions to the two orderlies to grab Claude with his right hand, and that has 6 fingers.
I'm well aware of who you are, Claude. Why don't you come to my office? I've been looking forward to meeting you. You could say I'm a bit of a fan.
Panel 5. The two orderlies wince as they pick up Claude from under each arm, dragging him out to the room towards Wells's office. Orderly 2 on the left, catching Claude's undies before they fall too low.
Should we begin with my reign of terror, or start with a few murders here and there? Murder's a great man, murder's a little man, all just to show I make no distinction.
That's nice, Claude.
Page 4, panel 1. Close shot
I'm
from
an equal opportunity psycho.
You are.
Right, yes. Close shot from behind, the orderlies drag Claude down the hall, following behind Wells. Claude's stained undies droop to one side, his feet drag behind him.
Why not walk, Claude? We both know your legs work perfectly fine. Is it because you enjoy the extra attention, or do you just like making their jobs miserable?
Why not both?
Panel 2, same angle, but all are much further down the hall, walking away from the reader.
I take it you're a man who likes options. A trait I find in myself as well. That's why I transferred here, you see. I could have had everything at Miskatonic back home in Arkansas. I can only go in one direction there, sadly. But here, I can flourish. Here, I can take paths only dreamed of.
I feel like Miskatonic should be in Massachusetts.
It usually is in New England.
Yeah.
Although I do like resetting it in the South. I mean,
Okay.
if you're going to do it, it doesn't exist. If this isn't directly a Lovecraft reference,
Right.
it could work. If there ends up being a direct Lovecraft reference, like, you know, Miskatonic South,
Yeah.
or whatever, might be an option.
Mm-hmm. Panel 3, same shot, but they are now merely shadows at the far end of the hall. A discarded pair of soiled whitey-tighties lay halfway down the hall, leaving 2 trails of piss and shit from where Claude's feet are dragged behind him.
You could very well die here too, mister. I ain't gotten your name yet. What's your name?
Name is Wells, Claude. Just Wells.
You're not a doctor, Wells?
Not in the sense you're familiar with, no. I think you're really going to appreciate my role here at Rains, though, even if it's unexpected.
Page 5. Background is a splash page separated into 3 panels. An autopsy room.
Yeah, you can skip that whole bit.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Wait, what are we skipping? Like all page 5? What are we skipping?
No, it's just describing the page. It was. Oh,
Okay.
I guess you don't have to skip it. I don't know. Sorry. No,
Okay. All right. The autopsy room. Entrance on the left, chair with restraints on the right center. There's also a stainless steel autopsy table. The shelves and counters are filled with surgical instruments and body parts preserved with formaldehyde. The background will be static for all 3 panels, but the characters will perform independent actions in each panel. Right. Panel 1. Wells opens the door and points towards chair. The orderlies drag in a naked Claude behind him.
Have a seat over there, Claude. Would you like a drink?
That'll be lovely. What do you have?
Panel 2. The 2 orderlies throw Claude in the chair facing the reader and tie him using the restraints. Wells walks towards the counter in the back of the room to fetch 2 bourbon glasses and a decanter. Claude looks over his left shoulder at Wells, not paying any mind to the 2 orderlies.
Bourbon.
It's been a long time since I've wet this dry tongue of mine. Gonna be hard to think when you got me tied up, though. You're afraid I'm gonna hurt you?
I have straws, and no. Those restraints aren't there to protect me. I only need you to stay still.
You could have just asked politely. Far be it from me to fight a man about to share a drink with me. You must think I'm some kind of monster.
Panel 3. Wells walks back towards Claude's left side, holding 2 full bourbon glasses, each with a crazy straw in them.
I know you're no monster. A serial killer, maybe, but not a monster.
You just outs yourself there, boyo. Fan of mine, huh? If you knew what I'd done, you'd be thanking your blessings I'm in this chair.
I'm well aware of what you admitted that led you to being here. Thing is, Claude, I'm not even sure the reasons you're here are honest.
Like I just turned myself in for the attention? You're crazier than I am.
Now you're catching on. Cheers.
Page 6. Panel 1. Close view of Claude's face as he sips the bourbon through the crazy straw. A restraint over his brow pulls his head back tight against the back of the chair. Staring into his right, a fear Wells grows, and it shows in his worried, hollow eyes.
And doesn't that taste lovely? It's good for the soul, too.
Panel 2. Wells brings the glass back from Claude's face, smiling. Claude tries to jerk free from his restraints with no luck.
Well, I think I need to be getting back to my room there, Wells. The boys all...
Everyone here hates you, you know. They've been trying to get rid of you for years with no luck.
Panel 3. A light behind Wells casts a shadow across his face. Everything but his glinting eyes and sharply bright smile are obscured by the heavy shadow before Claude.
But then I found you. I wanted you. I needed you. Your worthlessness is what makes you worth having. So I opted to try some breakthrough new treatments with you.
Panel 4. Cloud struggles to break his restraints as Wells brings up one of those little electric surgical saws. Wells is grinning as wide as he can.
What are you talking about? What treatment?
There isn't one. I lied, and now I'm going to crack your fucking skull wide open. I tell you to say but I have a feeling you'll.
Panel 5. Point of view. From Claude's point of view, Wells starts cutting into Claude's forehead with a saw. Blood starts to drip out into Claude's eyes, obscuring his vision. Where? Panel 6. Close shot of the saw cutting the top of Claude's skull open, blood splashing all over. Claude can only scream in sheer pain as his bulged eyes look upward in sheer horror. Page 7, splash page.
Scary.
It's a little bit, yeah. Would probably be pretty painful too. Page 7, splash page with 2 independent free-floating panels. Panel 1 is in the top left corner. Panel 2 is the splash page. And panel 3 is in the bottom right corner. Panel 1, close shot of Wells prying the top of Claude's skull by grabbing a handful of hair. Ooh. Panel 2, splash page. Cloud is dazed beyond belief, barely holding on to consciousness, his own blood starting to dry below his exposed brain. Meanwhile, Wells admires Claude's brain while still holding onto the top of his skull by the hair. Wells points at the brain as if it were a plumber describing the problem that needs to be fixed.
Well, there's your problem, Claude. There's no lime in your coconut. Let's see if we can't fix that. I think I have just the thing for that. Now, there's no time for chit-chat. I'll get you right as rain in just a moment.
Panel 3, Wells walks towards the back of the room, leaving Claude behind him. He places the top of Claude's skull on a stainless steel plate, hair side down.
One moment, Claude.
Page 8. Panel 1, Wells' hand reaches into a black leather medical bag.
Now, where is it?
Panel 2, Wells removes a small chisel and hammer from his bag.
I hope you don't mind, Claude, but I like to sign my work.
Panel 3, Wells starts to chisel strange markings into the inside of the skull cap.
Just a few simple incantations, and we'll see what happens.
Panel 4, Wells walks back toward Claude with the skull cap held in both hands. We see inside of the skull that it is riddled with strange markings.
Now, I'm no expert, but I think this should be very interesting. Are you still with me, Claude? I see. Well, worry not. Our session is almost at an end.
Panel 5, Wells carefully places the skull back on the top of Claude's head. Claude is just barely consciousness, drool mixed with blood oozing down his chin.
Hopefully it's not on backwards, right, Claude? That's right. But we're just about finished here, so hang tight.
Panel 6, Wells starts to staple Claude's skull back on using a staple gun.
Just a few more, Claude, and you're free to go back to your cell.
Page 9, Panel 1, from over Claude's right shoulder, Wells throws up both of his hands, signifying he's done.
That's it for today. Here, have a look at yourself.
Panel 2, still over Claude's right shoulder, Wells shows Claude his handiwork in a mirror. Claude's reflection is bloodied and uneven staples run across where his skull was separated. Claude's eyes bulge in terror at the sight of his now mutilated forehead.
Why?
Panel 3.
What's up, Savage?
Panel 3.
What's up? I'm doing good.
Yeah. Same shot as panel 2. Wells sets the mirror on a surgical table looking back towards Claude.
Why not? You're a depraved man, Claude. At best, you're just a masochist who lied for the worst attention. And worse, you're a fucking maniac.
Panel 4. Wide shot over Wells' left shoulder looking at Claude. Wells bends down to unrestrain Claude, starting with his head and moving down. Claude's eyes are still bulged in pure terror.
Kill.
You're in no shape to even kill the mood right now.
Panel 5. Claude reaches up to feel the staple on his head, wincing at the pain. Wells busily finishes removing the restraints from Claude's legs.
There you are. Now get back to your cell and pick up your underwear on the way. Just don't touch your head before you wash this shit off your hands.
Oh, me.
Panel 6. Wells looks at Claude with a big grin forming on his face. Using all the strength he has left, Claude manages to barely get to his feet.
Oh? Why not kill you? That's obvious. I'm not done with you, Claude. We're only getting started.
Bastard.
Panel 7. Claude attempts to walk, but he stumbles forward, falling flat on his face before Wells.
For fuck's sake, fine. I'll have the orderlies take you back. The last thing I need is you cracking your head back open all over the floor.
Panel 8. Shot of Claude on the floor, his face facing the reader. Claude desperately tries to get himself up, only able to get his body up a few inches that he loses all strength. Claude starts to slip into unconsciousness.
Go ahead and send 2 to get Claude back to his cell.
Roger that. They're on their way.
Panel 9. Closer shot of Claude's face as he finally slips into unconsciousness.
He's pretty much out of it. Send the janitor, too, to clean up this mess. Let him know there's a surprise from Claude down the hall as well.
Copy that. Have a good night, Dr. Wells.
Page 10. Important. Keep Claude obstructed by shadows until panel 4. Important. Panel 1. In Claude's dirty cell, he lays in bed. Sunlight pours through his tiny window, illuminating a puddle of vomit on the floor next to his head of his bed.
Jesus Christ, my head hurts. What the fuck happened last night?
Panel 2. Claude gets out of bed and walks towards the sink with a stainless steel mirror. Okay. Panel 3. From behind, Claude looks into the mirror, but our view is obstructed by his backside.
Ah!
Panel 4. We see Claude's reflection in the mirror. He has a gnarled and twisted scar around the top of his head. Where his nose once was is now only a mangled mess of scabs and scar tissue. His ears have been cut off and healed. Worst of all, his lips have been removed, exposing his teeth in what looks like a disturbed grin. On top of all of this, his skin is riddled with scars and strange runic shapes.
Help!
All right,
Okay.
that's 10 pages.
There we go.
Woo.
Well, it seems scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got some body horror elements. I mean, it's atmospheric. Yeah. There you go. Larry.
Yes. Yeah.
That was great, Larry.
It's definitely got a good atmosphere and tone to it. I mean, obviously, you're right off the bat going for lots of gore, lots of blood, that kind of thing. So that's good.
Pages,
yeah. I mean, right from the first panel, actually. Yeah.
John.
It was interesting. Interesting characters. Interesting world. I
feel like you're doing the Michaela Maroney smirk face.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it was excessively.
Right. John is going to have some. John's going to have some constructive. I feel that. All right, Danny.
It was an interesting world. It was an interesting situation. And there was some pretty good banter in there. Some really good like art direction to go along with it. And if you're going for, a suffocatingly tense body horror mood, you landed it. I also really like how you map out the panel placement in the art direction.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea.
Although I still don't know how to do it where like there's a left column and then like right one. Like how would you do like panel 1 taking up the left ones and then 2, 3, 4?
Smiley faces. Yeah.
You do like the square brackets like in a row of 3 and then just place the one in the middle, I guess, on the left without and then like even underline to break it apart, right?
Oh, there we go. See,
damn.
Problem solved.
I can word process like a motherfucker.
There we go. All right, Savage. How much did you hear?
I heard a little bit and stuff, and
Okay.
I'm gonna agree with Danny. I like the dialogue, and I
Okay.
kind of just really wish it was illustrated because when you talk about the gore, it just kind of makes you want to see what it would look like actually drawn on the page.
Okay. All right. Constructives. We'll start with John because I feel like John has.
I'm not sure this is going to be a story for me,
Okay.
so I don't know.
And that's John saying that.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, doesn't Lita have a lot of gore in it?
This is the weird thing because I'm not a fan of excessive gore.
Okay.
Oh my god!
I'm not really, and it's just funny because like here I'm going through and trying to rework Demonatrix for more public consumption,
Yeah.
and the script
Okay.
and like I'm like people. And this is a weird thing in this society, and then I'll get off my soapbox. It seems like excessive gore is okay, but excessive sex is not, and I don't quite understand.
PG-13.
Welcome to America, buddy.
Exactly.
I know
That's
it's
the way
like
it is. Yeah.
like this will get a PG-13, and yet I'm like whatever.
I don't know. I mean, this script might be over PG-13.
Yeah.
I would say this is definitely a hard NC-17. Yeah.
I don't know about that. I think it's-
no, it is. Yeah.
You think so?
It depends on how they do the art. To be honest, it will depend on how you go with the artist. So I think you could do it in a way that captures the same meaning without actually being all of that graphic. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. The gratuitous gore and violence seemed a little over the top in how explicit it was.
I mean,
and that's a preference thing. I don't know. I just
okay.
Not even gonna go there. Yeah.
Wow, I did one thing, and you guys are branding me for life.
Okay.
No, I just thought I'd draw attention
Well,
to
it's
it. I'm so
I don't know,
sorry.
I was just saying, Demonatrix came off as pretty gory itself. I mean, you had a guy's balls get crushed.
What about the janitor? Come on, man.
Yeah.
The janitor was basically it, and that was. But anyway, anyway, we're not gonna. We don't have. It's not. This is Skinny's time, and we're cutting into Skinny's time.
I mean, like, heroin.
Say again.
I remember that, John.
I missed that.
Oh, the heroin in the eye, right? Yeah.
That wasn't gory.
No, but it's squicky.
Yeah. The scene got cut anyway.
Fair. All right, moving on to talking about Skinny's projects.
I will say one thing. So when he was carving the runes in the guy's skull,
yes,
I would be more specific about what is actually being carved there. I think as the artist, you'll want, is it like occultish symbols? Is it like, like maybe either
Mystic ruins, a bunch of gobbledygook. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because if you don't describe it, your artist may just do scribbles.
Yeah.
But if you want it to be something like an occult symbol or to reference a specific occult ritual or whatever, you may want to specify what the symbols are or whatever. If you're going for something that's remotely real world based. Otherwise, you may just end up with a bunch of scribbles. And the one page that had 9 panels on it, 9 just seems a little excessive.
It's fine.
No, actually, I was just looking at a old Spider-Man comic book, and it had 12 panels on one page. Yeah. So it is possible. Yeah.
I mean, I will say that.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that old comics sometimes can be a little harder to read because of the excessive amounts of words and panels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depends if it's visual or not. Or if
I don't do that.
Yeah.
You know me. You know my style.
Yeah.
I like big panels.
People like a lot of panels.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like a lot of panels. And look, other writers are better writers than I am. I'm not gonna sit here and throw stones. Like Chris Claremont or people like that. But I pick up their books. I'm like, man, that's a lot of panels.
It is.
I just step back and I go, why did you put so many panels here? You only need like
It's
4
like
or
a
5.
page count thing, I think.
Yeah.
That must be what it is. But
But other people, this is how it is. All right, Larry Holder.
Hold up.
No,
Skinny. So the drama was good. Having read I think your origin story for Claude the other week, I've got no doubt that your artist could pull it off. But aside from Claude's in prison, there's actually not very much at stake here. Like, if this is like every comic is someone's first comic, and I know in indie comics that's less the case, but there's not very much to establish what Claude's deal is.
I feel like Claude's life is at stake, though.
I would say his life is pretty at stake.
Yeah, I think his life is at stake.
Claude is also kind of an immortal flesh-eating zombie with a serial killer's ghost entrapped in him.
Oh, well, there's that. Yeah. Okay,
So,
you're right. I got a point there.
I didn't know that.
You need to. I only know that because I read the other thing.
Okay.
Unless this is a prequel. So, and I don't.
Well, no, Claude. It's in the same universe, but those characters are different.
Okay, so then maybe you want to establish the situation to avoid reader confusion, and if this is a one shot, then what's actually at stake here, and who knows what about magic and that sort of thing is actually pretty important.
Well, it is the same universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff you put in a little blurb in the start of the book. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise it comes off as being sorry, Larry, pornographic in its gratuitousness, which is fine. Yeah. I know that's a thing, but it's just watching horror happen without being introduced to the characters in any way beforehand, especially Claude. Obviously, you're introduced to the Doctor here for the first time.
Yeah.
That was it.
When we get further into it, you'll understand where I'm going, but it won't all be body horror. Yeah. It's actually going to have a shift into more psychological.
Sounds fun.
Just be careful that you don't lose your reader before you get there. To say, that's the only thing. Like, if you're like, well, I'm going to front load all this stuff, and then I'll explain what's going on, and then once you understand what's going on, then it makes all the stuff I front loaded make sense. Well, if you turn off people in the front load, they're not going to get to that part.
Okay, but if you picked up a horror comic,
the cover could be the front.
That is true. That is true. That is true. If they pick up a horror comic wanting a horror comic and they start with this, then they're going to be all for it because they're like, this is
I feel like he's opening. I feel like he's opening
and that
pretty strong here for that genre. So
now if you picked up White Lily 6 and that was the opening, that might be a little bit strange.
Then, you would lose if that happens. So.
Yeah.
All right. Other constructives. William, what do you think?
Since I came in late, I don't think I can really give a constructive.
All right, Larry, what do you think?
I didn't really notice anything too out of place. There were a few typos or whatever, but you can fix those later. It's no big deal. Everybody has typos.
It's fairly simple. It's atmospheric. All right. I got one tiny little thing.
Oh God.
All right. So this guy's like not augmented. He's not. This isn't like magical stuff. They're just like fucking with him.
All
right.
Well, I mean, Wells is dabbling into the dark arts.
Right. No, I got that part. Yeah. So I feel like Claude would have memories of kind of what was going on because we see him wake up and he kind of seems almost too casual when he's waking up.
Oh, okay.
So it's just my thing. I feel like he's a little too casual. But all right.
Yes. I'll just go ahead and explain that because you'll read it next time. But Claude ends up the magic that's performed on him actually makes it to where. How do I explain this? Anybody who looks at him, as soon as he's out of sight, they completely forget about him. He is the invisible man, but he's not actually invisible. It's just nobody will ever remember him. So he's looking in the mirror, and it has the same effects on him.
Okay. Oh, interesting. All right.
That's super interesting. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
there we
cool.
go. Okay. All right, here we go. We got Primal Chaos number 3 by Larry Holder.
But yeah.
One's not even out yet, and we got 3 up.
I know I'm writing ahead, so
That's
whatever.
what writers do.
Yeah.
Writers got it right, man.
That's all right. I'm just teasing. I'm just messing with you.
Writers do. In the last issue after their ordeal in the sewer, Samael and Farouk find what they believe is a safe area to rest. As Farouk goes to find supplies, Samael regains some memory only to be interrupted by an attack from Black Epsilon, led by the Titan, Jen Fairgate. As Samael and Jen battle, another enters the fray, the angel Gabriel, in possession of a human body and encased in divine armor.
If that's going to go in the book, you should also explain what Black Epsilon is. Unless we're not supposed to know yet. But then I don't know why reference it by name.
Sounds like a spaceship. I want one.
I know, right?
It's been referenced by name in the last issue, so
okay.
There you go.
Right. Well, you described that Jen Fairgate is a Titan. She's led by the Titan Jen Fairgate. But what is Black Epsilon? So I would add that description in.
This
is going to be
organization.
Black
Epsilon. There you go. Yeah.
Right. Something like that.
Yeah.
That so that we remember exactly what the shadowy organization
is. This was just written for the stream, so
from the,
okay.
Yeah. All right. Fine. All right. So who's narrating us?
Okay. We'll get John to narrate it.
You can do it, John.
Yeah.
All right. Caption: Samael stood before 2 foes of immense power, his will unbreaking, his body tempered. As Samael battles, chaos rejoices. Page 1, panel 1. Wide shot, long perspective. Gabriel lands between Samael and Jen. He swings a kick and impacts Samael's face in the right foreground of the panel. Samael flies backward toward the viewer. In the background, he thrusts his spear towards Jen as she blocks with her arm blades. That sounds like 4 different panels.
It does sound like, all right, hold on, that's all right. So, lands in between. So, Gabriel lands.
Okay,
Gabriel lands and kicks. Samael flies backward towards the viewer. In the background, he thrusts his spear towards Jen. I don't know who he is there.
Probably Gabriel, because Gabriel's doing all the things.
Okay, Gabriel thrusts his spear towards Jen.
I could draw it for you, but anyway.
Okay, all right. I feel like
it's 4 actions in one panel.
I was avoiding is, so he's already landed. He's kicked him. He's flying backwards. He's stabbing the spear in the other direction towards.
Maybe having landed between Samael and Jen, Gabriel does XYZ. Might be a better way to write that.
There you go. That's
okay. That's good.
Panel 2, close up, waist level, as Gabriel pushes hard against Jen's blade with his spear. She strains, trying to repel him backward. Sparks and streams shoot out from the arm joints of Gabriel's exosuit. Panel 3, same angle but from opposite side of 2 locked combatants. Samael jumps forward toward them from the smoke, his blade raised high and ready to strike. Panel 4, close up, Samuel's blade swings down toward Gabriel's spear and Jen's blades. Panel 2, page 1, wide shot from above looking down. Gabriel and Jen jump backward to avoid Samael's strike. As Samael lands where they stood, the pavement cracks and explodes upward around him from the impact. Panel 2, close up on Samael from the front, waist high. Samael reels his body backwards, screaming into the sky. Arches blue energy burst from his right eye, and purple from his left. Close up on Gabriel's helmet in the right foreground from a 3/4 view as he stares towards Samael, screaming in the background.
Who's Gabriel?
Danny, you can read Gabriel.
Danny.
This is worse than we thought. Brother has truly become an abomination.
Page 3, panel 1. Caption: shortly before the battle, South Market Street, Boston, Massachusetts. Early morning. Wide shot. Farouk walks to the market district in search of supplies not far from where he left Samael. There are a few shop workers out in the background getting ready to open for the day. Farouk mutters to himself.
Preston, you can rate Farouk.
Oh, Farouk, what's the plan here? Get the supplies and go back to the angel monster, or just run and hide?
Preston's acting. High five.
There you go.
Don't quit your day job. Panel 2. Close up on Farouk's face from the front as he continues to question himself. His expression shows fear and confusion with an awkward smile.
Sure, he saved you, but do you really owe him? What if he goes nuts and turns on you? I should probably just take off.
Farouk, as played by William Shatner. Played by
25 out of 15.
Someone has to pick up the Shatner answer. And by the way, I hear that Shatner, because like he had so many lines to memorize because he was basically in every scene of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like a lot of his pauses were just struggling to remember what he was supposed to say.
I believe everything.
That's what it was.
That is hilarious, but
that's a lot of lines to remember.
Yeah. What?
Was he struggling to sing Rocket Man?
Pretty much.
No.
Yeah.
No, but at that point, it's become a thing.
Yeah. His spoken word music. Yeah.
Like
His Common People is still really good.
Yeah, like Christopher Walken. He gets scripts sent to him, and whenever he goes, "Oh, that one looks interesting," he sees a revised script in a few days, and he says it's been Walkenized. All of a sudden, like his character is like off on it.
That's too bad.
Panel 3, wide shot on the back of Farouk as he stands, suddenly bracing himself from falling down. A German-sounding voice off panel speaks to him.
Just kidding, you can do Hans. Or Hans.
Hans.
No, Mr. Orion. I believe you will come with us.
Panel 4, close-up on Farouk's face. He looks over his shoulder, his eyes widen in horror. Page 4, panel 1. Wide shot, point of view from Farouk. Hans Wagner stands with his arms crossed behind his back as he leans toward Farouk. The morning sun reflects on his thick glasses. Behind Hans stands 3 heavy armor Black Epsilon troops, as seen in issue 2, page 6, panel 3. They aim their imposing Gatling rifles toward Farouk. Panel 2, Farouk drops to his knees, his hands over his head, his pace fail, locked in an expression of panic.
Holy shit! Am I ever gonna catch a break?
Now you're just trying to not try. Panel 3, close up on Hans' face as he stares down at Farouk, a half smile washing across his face. The sun beaming against his thick glasses creates a bright white glare across them, yet the purple glow from his eyes pierces through the white glow of the sun. A female voice cuts in from off panel.
Oh, and Danny, you can take over for Viviax. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who's on?
Here I thought you would give more resistance. Such a good lad, but you keep poor company.
Look at you big boys picking on a little man.
Panel 4, wide shot. A streak of red and black flashes by Hans and the guards. The 2 guards are instantly decapitated, blood spraying from their necks. As their heads fall backward, Hans ducks to the ground before being hit by an unnatural crab-like stance. Pieces of his hair can be seen still floating in the air where his head was, add speed lines from his positions to his crouched state. So is this like when Toad landed on the guy in the first X-Men movie? He basically went splat. You remember that in the climax? Ray Park basically jumps on a guy and lands on his shoulder, and he basically pushes him or collapses him in pancake. Whatever. Page 5, splash page.
Yeah.
I know that movie was like 25 years ago.
Yeah, that's
we
a
were
deep
all
cut now,
young
man.
back then.
Okay.
We're all a bunch of old people. Page
How was
5.
Okay.
Page 5, splash page, full body shot, Viviax. See character document for design, stands in a sensual pose with her back rising to the rising sun. She holds her left hand near her mouth, her blood-covered, clawed fingers pressed against her lips, her tongue extend outward toward her fingers, blood dripping down onto it. She wears a black cloak over her. The few shop workers out on the market run away in all directions from the scene in the background.
Oh, what flavor! I'm going to enjoy the corporeal world.
Page 6, panel 1. Wide shot over Farouk's left shoulder, still in the kneeling position, looking up toward Viviax. Viviax bends down close toward him, pushing her breasts together with her shoulders. She blows him a kiss with her left hand.
You best run along, little man, as grown-ups are going to have a little chat.
Panel 2, close-up. Viviac runs her tongue from Farouk's lips up along his right cheek, leaving a trail of blood.
You can reward me later for saving you.
Okay.
Panel 3.
That's a good read.
That was good. Preston's still acting. Were you distracted by breasts?
Yes, probably.
Always.
I mean, Preston is notoriously distracted by breasts, right?
Always.
I mean, that's the way it goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Panel 3, similar view to panel 1, same page. Hans stands straight up behind Viviax and Farouk. Purple energy smokes out from his eyes around his thick glasses. His face looks like an emotionless gaze. Viviax sneers at him over her right shoulder.
Steak demon.
There we go.
Seriously, kid, get up and run.
Panel 4, wide shot. Viviax turns and lunges her left claw toward Hans's face. His cloak flies off onto Farouk. Oh, her cloak flies off onto Farouk. Her wings spread out wide. Hans has already jumped backward, dodging her attack. Artist note, add speed lines for the direction of movements.
Yeah.
Preston, scroll the page.
Preston.
Did he
Okay.
freeze? I think he
Preston.
froze.
Oh no.
I
He's
thought he was just
frozen.
still staring at the tits.
Yeah,
No,
so did I.
He's like actually frozen.
Does he have to let himself in? Is
Okay,
this
so
really-
what- So
Oh, there you
while
go.
we're waiting on him, Danny, since you weren't here, Viviax is who Preston thinks I should make Lolita more like.
Like
and-
Morgan from Darkstalkers, basically?
Basically.
So imagine all the stuff that Viviax just did in her character if Lolita did that.
I like it.
I will say that you avoid some of the problems with the concept of the narrative by having the succubus character act like a tropified succubus character.
Yeah.
I don't know if it works for Lolita as well, but I mean, it doesn't not work. On the other hand, is your creative vision, man. It's indie comics. Fail on your own merits, you know.
The only reason why I bring it up now is, well, one, because Preston got bumped off, but also because you don't really know much about Viviax, and this is kind of your first introduction to her as a character.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I said, like, you have a
sexy dominatrix type.
Yeah.
right. But Viviax is more of a villain character.
She is.
You know, she acts in a villainous way. She has, you know, plans to take over the world and that sort of thing. And, you know, manipulates people in order to... Oh, he's back!
Well, finish your thought,
he's
man.
back.
He still got to load up the PDF and stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, and she kind of does things. She manipulates people and things in order to enact her vision and plan. And, you know, I'm trying to do a story with a similar... stylized, you know, sexy demon character who doesn't have those goals.
I mean,
So-
one of the things I like about Lolita is that she has no choice but to interact with humanity on their own terms. It's like the only compelling thing about the character, and it's one of the things that, like, I mentioned a few times, and other people have in the notes, that the direction could go towards, right? Like her and Emmy need to interact and have mutually competing interests using the same body. That's a really fun setup, and it's got a lot of potential. So, I mean, it's definitely a different character. Like, I don't think she works as Viviax because she has to be convinced to be redeemable, or else none of your narrative works.
Right.
Viviax is clearly irredeemable from the get-go.
Right.
Preston, can we scroll down a little bit so we can get more narration?
Yeah, we can keep going.
More.
Yep, a little bit more. Page 7. There we go.
There we go.
Thanks. All right, moving on. Question mark.
Page 7,
Okay.
panel 1. Extreme perspective. View looking down from above. Farouk stares forward in shock, gripping Viviac's cloak with his arms where it landed.
Get up and run.
Panel 2. Extreme close-up of Farouk's eye. In the reflection, Viviac swings at Hans, again missing him.
Get up. Run.
Panel 3. Extreme close-up on Farouk's pupil. In the reflection, Viviac looks directly at him and winks. He hears her voice in his head.
Run.
Just fucking run, kid.
Panel 4. Close-up on Viviac's face. She closes her eyes and smiles. Farouk can be seen running away in the background over her right shoulder. Her cloak balled up in his arms.
Finally.
Page 8, panel 1. Waist-high shot. Viviac's looking toward the viewer. She winks and sticks her tongue out suggestively, making a beckoning motion with her hands to Hans, who is off panel.
Now that the kid is gone, how about me and you play for real?
Panel 2. Close-up. Viviac raises her hands in front of her face. Long 6-inch metallic claws spring from her fingers. She smiles an unnaturally wide smile, her teeth turning razor sharp, her eyes glowing red, and her pupils turning goat-like. Panel 3. Wide shot. Viviac.
I don't know what goat-like people.
I mean, so brown?
Look up, but no.
Okay.
Goats have really weird pupils, though.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll have to put in a visual reference for that, but yeah.
Panel 3, wide shot. Viviac lunges into the air, her claws pointed toward Hans in the foreground as he raises his arms in a defensive cross position. Panel 4, close-up. Viviac slashes Hans across the stomach with her left hand, gripping through his clothes and skin, his arms dropping down to his sides. Panel 5, close-up. Viviac's right hand slashes upward, cutting 3 inches into Hans's face. His glasses split in 3 pieces. 2 of the cuts run through the lenses. Blood flows upward from the wounds with the momentum. Artist note, this is post-strike. Add speed lines to the hand. Page 9, panel 1. Close-up on Hans' face. The blood running down his face from the slashes. His eyes burn purple. Steam effects billow from them. A streak of anger runs across his normally emotionless face.
Who's Hans?
This isn't a game, demon.
Panel 2, wide shot, looking toward Hans. A ball of purple light surrounds Hans. Energy arcs in all directions. Viviac shields herself in the foreground with her left wing. Panel 3, wide view, hip level, looking up. A massive 12-foot shadow surrounded by smoke looms over Viviac as she looks up at him. Page 10, splash page, wide shot. Viviac takes a step back from Hans in the foreground. He looks down and menacingly toward her. Hans has transformed into his Titan form. His muscle mass has quadrupled in size. His torso has become elongated. He has an extra set of legs. His 4 legs bend out sideways from the torso in an inverted L shape. He has 2 extra sets of long, skinny arms growing out of his shoulder blades.
We were made to kill your kind.
Yay.
Yay. All right. I'm liking issue 3 better than issue 2. You know, like I feel like issue 2, we had that conversation between Farouk and Samael, and it was like this cool bro bonding moment and stuff. But like, you know, it's just bros bonding and giving us some exposition. Here, boom, we got Viviac showing up. She's killing folks. We got giant titans about to smite her. And I think your character was in there somewhere too. So
at the beginning. It's gonna go back to him right after.
And your character was in the story too. You know, the title character, the reason why we're buying this issue.
Yeah, I I'm trying to remember what your title character did.
He's
I
just
can't
fighting.
remember. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did something, but
Yeah.
He's taking back seat to the 5-figure character who made entrance.
There you go. All right.
Say, please buy my book.
William, what do you think?
I'm just trying to picture in my mind that last description of that guy getting extra arms and like or legs in L shape. It's like
I wasn't sure on the L shape either. The L shape was.
He's supposed to look like a scorpion. I guess that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. I was a little confused, but I was like, "What's going on?" Stuff.
I have to draw it out, but I have an idea in my head. But,
oh, okay. Yeah. No.
So, like off to the side and like pointed outwards. Kind of weird, but yeah.
Yeah, I like the action, the description of the action going on in the panels and stuff, and I like the ideas that you're going for, especially like the whole reference to Titans and all that stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean, for me, you can't go wrong with angels and demons stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
It's pretty fun.
I mean, particularly when your story's about angels and demons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Skinny.
I like the pacing a lot. It read very quickly, a lot of action, and which just I feel like that just engages me more personally. And I like books that do that just from the get-go, from the jump. You're just bam, there it is. And you read my script, so I like to do that too.
Yeah. Shan, what characters were you thinking needed to be combined? Danny, go ahead.
I also like the pacing and how you're jumping right into the action. It reminded me a bit of the beginning of Evangelion, with Shinji just sort of being stuck in the middle of all this like horrific angelic fighting and destruction. So, and you made the angels and stuff weird, so that was really cool. And obviously, you've directed a lot of art that you can use to sell the book.
Yeah.
Sorry, i.e. tits.
There you go.
You directed a lot of tits.
Viviax has tits. That's just what she is. So
that's
she's only got 2 tits. It's very impressive.
That's why we love her.
Yeah.
That and her desire to absolutely destroy people.
Yeah.
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 Like, look, she was. I'm watching this Amazon series, Magic City. And I'm enjoying it so far. And the episode I saw tonight, there was a guy who's been cheating on the wife of the mob boss, but he got caught. But it turns out the mob boss was into it, so he's kind of okay. But now he's kind of in the arrangement, so he has to tread very lightly. But he meets this other guy who also knows her pickup line, and so the guy's describing to the other guy, not knowing that they know the same woman, how she lights the cigarette using his cigarette. And he's like, and I look at her and I just go, "Who are you?" And you know what she says to me? And he replies, "The wrong woman." And he's like, and it's this moment where these two are bonding over the fact that they both went after someone who expressly told them they were the wrong people. And Viviax is kind of like that. She's clearly the wrong woman. But,
Tits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Danny, did you go already?
Yeah, I've said nice things.
Yeah, and John.
Yeah, I thought it was great, man. Really, lots of action, very well written. Yeah, it's a pretty good, strong opening of an issue.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, constructives.
So does page 1 actually need to be there? Is my first constructive.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at page 1. Because I was wondering, those early pages, I'm like, I remember your character was in it, but what did they do? They did something.
And I mean, you jump right into this action immediately afterwards anyways. Yeah. So it's not like, I'm promising action later. It's I'm promising action, and there's action on page 2.
Right. So let's see.
It's like action inception.
Yeah.
There's action within.
Which is fine.
We got a wide shot. Gabriel lands in between Samuel and Jen. So we got
it's 3 unrelated characters.
Yeah, the arrival of Gabriel, and he's fighting with Samuel. and then
it's a direct. Yeah.
All right, so
So I
we
guess
It's a
have
direct
fight.
continuation
We have
of
a
the
fight between
cliffhanger.
Gabriel and Samael, which goes on for
Yeah.
2 pages. And then page 3, we break from that. We break to Farouk.
Yeah, so you've got one page with one fight scene on the left, and
Okay.
you've got a spread with one fight scene on the left and a completely unrelated scene on the right. Here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
So,
page 2 will be on the left and page 3 is on the right.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
So-
you could put in an ad if you wanted to break that up.
Actually, it's not. But anyway, we'll get on the. So.
All right.
so that's sort of my first constructive is like,
Okay.
I feel like you get into the action well enough with the Viviax thing that you don't need to hook the reader with 2 pages of something else.
Right.
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
And then you have a lot of fighting, which is great.
Yes.
But not a lot of banter between the opponents. And this might be
Viviax likes to
someone.
talk.
Viviax is well introduced, but you're a demon, I'm a titan
Oh, yeah.
is not really a thing that's established, and so someone just randomly hulks out into something weird. Totally cool, right? Pretty good for a cold open, but it takes long enough to get there, and Viviax is like just sympathetic enough because she's nice to Farouk, the man on the ground, who's our point of view character, that as a first-time reader, I'm assuming Viviax might be the good guy, or the better of the two between her and Hans. So something establishing that isn't the case, if that isn't the case, would be nice. And you have a ton of dialogue. You're like, haha, I just love this taste of blood in the morning, or like whatever. Right. I'm going to be all murderous because I can, but I don't murder kids. Here, kid, go buy a candy bar. Mom and Daddy have a very loud conversation that we're going to have. Yeah. I saw what you were doing there, so I lean into that. But then Hans doesn't really say very much, and then Viviax doesn't say anything for like 2 pages while she's fighting Hans, which is fine. But you do have a lot of opportunity there to reestablish this conflict in the world, like in the narrative instead of in the previously on that you've already written.
I'm thinking that, what if you got rid of the first 2 pages and you opened up with Farouk and whatever? Because whenever you break from that scene, I'm sure you're going to go back to...
Well, yes. It's going to go back to exactly where the point where it left off. But
right.
Yeah,
so
it was just...
You could theoretically make that into one bigger action scene unless you were using the break for a break in your other action scene, which...
That's what it is.
Okay, well then. All right, so we got 2 pages of an action scene, then a break, then we're going to return to the action scene, but...
Again, it's a resolution of the cliffhanger from issue 2. But anyway.
There we go. All right,
that's what I was trying to say, but anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of have a couple thoughts. One, to springboard off what Preston said, I'm wondering if some of this action-y stuff should be moved to issue 2, and some of the dialogue bromance stuff moved to issue 3. So that's a thought. Since 2 is not in production yet, you can still think about these things. To piggyback off of springboard off what Danny was saying about Viviax and Farouk, that really didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Why she seemed to care so much about him and give him time to leave. He doesn't strike me as being I can understand a 2,000-year-old demon calling a 30-year-old adult a kid, because perspective, he's a kid.
Yeah.
So, but I never saw him as a kid, like a 12-year-old kid on the street.
Oh, he's in his 20s. Anyway.
Right. So he's
even
in his
something
20s.
like, "Oh, you're too young for me. I only fight older men. Get out of here."
There is a reason for her letting him go, but I'm not going to.
Right. So I was gonna. So when I guess my thinking is, okay, I'm assuming that there is a reason. Probably he's like the special chosen one or something. But whatever that reason is, it seems a little out out of left field unless it's been unless you've been foreshadowing it in issues 1 and 2. And I don't really see Farouk's character as being foreshadowing of anything. He seems to simply be the audience insert.
Yes.
So now
He
you're
also-
trying.
He also knows where Samuel is, so yeah.
But Samael's in the middle of a fight. Anybody with a set of ears knows where Samael is.
Except that she's
They
in the
can
middle
hear
of
it.
the fight right now. It hadn't started at that point because we flashed back and then we went forward.
Jen blew up a building.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
know shit's going down. They know shit's going down.
Okay. You're not listening to
So-
me, though. Yeah. Okay. So, battle started. Then we flash back to before the battle started. But at that point, Viviax is in a battle. So when the other battle starts, she's already fighting. So, hey, that battle hadn't started at that point.
So to jump off your rebuttal there, Larry, were you listening to yourself? That's a lot of explanation that's not on the page.
It is. It's in caption. It says before the battle right at the beginning of that section.
Okay. So, all right. So let me see if I get this straight. So basically, pages 3 to 10 that we just read,
Yes.
the Farouk Viviac scene takes place before Jen shows up and blows up the building in the end of
Correct.
issue 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So put this in issue 2 and end with that, and then we can start with.
Yeah, I mean, you're replacing
all
action
together.
with action, and then it's chronological.
And you get my character in there, which you can
In
promote
issue 2.
in issue 2.
Because then you can get a variant cover with Viviax on your issue 2, and you're almost guaranteed to have a successful Kickstarter. I wouldn't say guaranteed, but Preston might.
Well, we still gotta get
And you also don't have 2 pages of these 3 people who you're not going to see again are in a fight with no dialogue to
Right.
open issue 3, which is a
Right.
good way to lose your reader.
And by the way,
Right.
just because you had a season 2 cliffhanger doesn't mean you have to open with a resolution of the cliffhanger in issue 3. You can
don't
open
have
with a
to.
different scene, resolve it, and then show back at our hero and resolve that. You can do that. It's
Right,
Sure,
right.
yeah.
But I think if you should go chronological, put this end issue 2 with this section, turn this section maybe turn Hans turning into a Titan be your issue 2 cliffhanger, and then issue 3 can start with Jen showing up and blowing up the building and Gabriel and all of that fun stuff that happened at the end of issue 2. Start issue 3 with that. Because then we're 10 pages into issue 3, and Viviax fans are going to be are going to keep turning the page, looking forward to her showing up again because she was already teased because she was in 3-5 pages of issue 2. And you can also, that gives you also 2 issues now that you can put Viviax in variant covers, issue 2 and issue 3.
So not only are you baiting the hook, you're also, sort of foreshadowing this other stuff. I like the way you think, John, especially adding the marketing element to it. That was a good argument.
I mean, because
you
that's
think
the
it
only
changes
reason.
after you've run a Kickstarter. You're like, oh wait.
It's the only reason to use the character is because
Right.
she's worth 5 digits. I mean, that's like it.
Well,
I mean, why
that's
else?
I mean, don't
only
minimize
reason-
that. You can
Okay.
get an
No,
extra few digits on your Kickstarter by doing this.
Right.
Think about that is a real good reason.
Yeah.
the reason,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
reason- never mind. I ain't gonna talk.
No, that's fine. You don't have to give us spoilers. I'm just saying.
Look,
I'm
all I
just
got to
saying
say,
that-
Larry, is what I've discovered from participating in these writing circles for a while is that whenever you have the feedback take different takes on where your story should go, I look at that as very positive because it shows that people are invested in the characters and the conflict. So I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you decide. It's your story. Just offering some suggestions on, So anyway,
Okay.
But I think that's actually a good one. Anyway, all right. Let's see. All right. Speaking of, we have demons. Demonatrix.
Well, if we're wrapping this discussion, I think that's it for me for the evening, guys.
All right. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
All right, man.
anytime. Thanks for sharing all your scripts and letting me read. And we'll see y'all next week.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. John, tell us about Demonatrix.
All right. So this is a bit of a rewrite from the pages I presented 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I submitted 11 pages. We can skip this page if we want to.
No, it's so much Demonatrix goodness, and this is our last script of the day, so why not?
So this is basically for I think it was Will and other people that complained the last time that there wasn't enough sexy. So I wrote this scene just for you guys.
Thank goodness. It's gonna make all the difference at Renderotica.
Yeah.
I know, and everybody else is going to make me cut it, so the scene will probably get cut anyway.
Well,
Wait,
that's like
Skinny just
you need the porn version and the
you said
non-porn
that.
version. Look,
but I just got to figure out
all the great porn films are available as porn movies, or if you just like them to be really raunchy and rather bad rated R movies, you can get those too.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I may do that. I just need to figure out a market. Like I gotta,
I'll
figure out the market for both.
I will say that, marketing an adult comic can be very successful because, there are a lot of, as they call them, coomers out there that will like that stuff.
Yeah, I just got to figure
adult
out.
Games are huge,
Yeah.
Yeah. And we lost Skinny too. I don't know if he'll be back.
Yeah, he did just as you said. Like I put in more sex.
And then he's like, "I'm out of here."
Welcome back, Skinny. Skinny's here.
All right.
Who's narrating?
So, Larry, you can narrate.
Go, Larry.
Yes.
Preston, you can do Emmy like usual. Since we lost Danny,
Skinny.
Yeah, Skinny. Why don't you do Lolita?
You can do Lolita.
And then Will, you can do Marco.
Okay.
And those are the three main characters. So I'll do some of the extra lines that come up here and there, and anybody else can jump in on the extra lines as they show up. But the main characters are going to be Emmy, Lolita, and Marco. And I think Jorge, and I'll do Jorge, and then whoever else comes up. Jorge.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, one other thing. So
yes.
This page does not directly follow into the next page. Okay. So in the last set of pages, Emmy was at work, and remember, Marco didn't show up for work, and she was stuck leading the janitorial crew. So this page takes place when she gets home from work. Then we're going to basically jump forward in time to basically where Emmy and Marco hook up. So basically, after this, everything's the same. She goes to Marco's cousin's house, finds out that the undocumented worker street vendors are being harassed, and she agrees to help them. So that's where we'll pick up on the next page.
All right.
Okay. So that was like a lot of people commented about getting in and out of the car and all of that. So I rewrote that. So we'll see if this flows better. That's kind of where we pick up on the next page. But this is our sexy page that takes place before all that. So go ahead, take it away, Larry.
Sure. Interior Emmy and Lolita's apartment, sunrise. The front door falls open as Emmy stands in the threshold, half asleep. Her eyes go wide, seeing. Lolita presses against a large plate of glass window overlooking the high-rise cityscape being fucked by Gregory from episode 1 in full view of anyone with a pair of binoculars.
Emmy, you're home.
Emmy rolls her eyes. Gregory looks back at her.
You want to join in? He's a 14-inch cock, big enough for both of us.
I'm going to bed.
Emmy zombie walks down the hall to her bedroom. Lolita turns Gregory's chin to face her.
More for me, then.
Gregory pulls out, spins Lolita around, pressing her body against the glass, and begins to ram her ass. Outside, Lolita's petite frame is pressed against the glass. She looks up, smiling. Interior apartment across the street. A man stands looking out the window, watching through binoculars and masturbating. Okay. Emmy's bedroom. Emmy collapses on the
We
bed.
certainly increase the amount of sex.
Yeah.
Hey, people complain there wasn't enough sexy in the sexy script, so there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Emmy collapses on the bed. Orgasmic moans seep through the walls. She folds a pillow over her head. Emmy holds it out to him.
I feel like the script has become Perfect Strangers.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't want to know what this couch has seen, do I?
Not really. My roommate, she's...
Marco takes the blanket.
Thanks, Mija.
Bathroom. Emmy takes a hot shower. Living room. Marco sleeps on the couch facing the back cushions. His eyes slowly open. Turning, he sees Lolita wearing a see-through negligee, no panties, sitting on the coffee table with her legs open, giving him full view.
Hi.
Lolita smiles.
You're as cute as she said.
We hear Emmy exit the bathroom off screen.
Emmy
walks to the living room wrapped in a towel.
What are you doing?
Oh, am I interrupting?
No, we had a long day and still have to work tonight. Marco's sleeping on the couch. I'm going to my room.
Oh, that's like first base for you. I'm so proud of you.
Emmy rolls her eyes, walks down the hallway. Lolita gets up and follows her. Marco sits up and watches as Lolita disappears down the hallway, and then hears a bedroom door shut. He falls back on the couch. Interior Emmy's crossover. Day. Emmy waits by the curb as Marco speaks with the flower cart vendor.
So are Marco sleepovers going to be a regular thing?
No, just until we figure this out.
2 blocks away, a punk watches Marco and the cart vendor. Emmy's crossover. Marco gets back into the vehicle. Emmy pulls away.
Your roommate, she's something.
She has issues with boundaries.
As Emmy turns the corner, she hears an engine rev up. Looking to the side, a black SUV barrels towards them, running a red light.
Lolita!
Emmy swerves. Exterior street intersection. Lolita, in demon form, passes out of Emmy. She catches the SUV, sending its hood and engine crumpling around her. Emmy swerves the compact car around, barely missing the SUV. Emmy and Marco exit the vehicle as other people stop to help. Emmy runs to the front of the SUV.
Lolita?
She passes back into Emmy. Marco pulls the driver's door open to assist finding the driver knocked out unconscious. Okay. Yeah. Finding the driver knocked out unconscious from the airbag deployment. The gun falls out from the car. He steps back. Emmy approaches.
Is the driver okay?
Emmy notices the gun.
Shit.
Marco and Emmy scan the crowd.
Hostile inbound.
Another black SUV approaches. The windows lower.
Gunpowder.
Run! Out of the street!
Just then, submachine guns fire from the windows of the SUV. Marco and Emmy duck around the crashed SUV as bullets rip through the sides, shattering the windows.
Never a cop around when you need one.
Shut up, unless you want a way out of this.
Straight up, I can fly, remember?
I'm not leaving them.
Who are you talking to?
The SUV squeal to a stop. Latin thugs in gang colors exit the vehicle, reloading their submachine guns.
Too many witness. You have to use me.
Let's see if those ballet classes pay off.
Emmy's eyes click black. Emmy bolts towards the nearest thug.
Emmy.
Marco reaches out for her, but she's too fast. The thug pulls the hammer back on his submachine gun. takes aim. Emmy,
wait, hold up.
I know.
Submachine gun.
I caught it. Yeah.
Just FYI.
What's wrong?
There's no
Submachine
hammer on
guns
the
don't have a
submachine.
hammer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pistols do, like revolvers, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pulls the trigger.
It's either a pistol or a submachine gun. And if it's a submachine gun, it doesn't have a hammer. It has a bolt.
It's okay.
Bolt.
Yeah.
Got it.
Emmy's
That's
buddy.
what I meant.
Yeah. Okay. Emmy's buddy slams him, sending him flying across the road. Another thug opens fire. Emmy flips into the air as a bullet whizzes by her. She lands, moving into a high kick, striking the thug in the head, dropping him to the ground. Another thug swings a bat, striking Emmy in the back of the head. She is unfazed. She grabs his arm, shattering bones. She grabs the broken bat, throwing it across the street, striking another thug before dropping the one in front of her. Another thug steps forward, taking aim with his pistol at point-blank range. She grabs it by the hand, ripping the pistol from his grasp, breaking his fingers. She kicks once in the knee, shattering his kneecap before kicking him to the back of the head in a single fluid motion. Emmy points the pistol at George. Emmy's eyes click normal.
No killing.
She drops the gun.
Fuck.
Emmy's eyes click black. George fires his golden pistol. Emmy dodge rolls out of the way behind another car.
He's not playing by your rules.
Emmy's eyes click normal.
I don't care.
George circles the vehicle, firing his pistol.
Take him when he reloads.
George drops the clip from his pistol. Emmy's eyes click black. Emmy leaps over the shot up vehicle. Okay, yeah,
that's right.
Okay, yeah, that's right. George reloads his pistol. Emmy kicks him square in the stomach, sending him crashing into a parked car. Just then, 2 police cars enter the scene. The remaining thugs take off running. Alvarez and another officer exit their vehicle, aim their pistols at Emmy. Emmy's eyes click normal. She puts her hands up. Marco runs out between Alvarez and Emmy.
Miguel.
Alvarez lowers his gun.
Hermanito, you okay?
Yeah.
Just then, Jacobs and Patel arrive in a black unmarked police car. Arrives. They exit the vehicle.
Sergeant, secure the scene.
Marco turns to where Emmy kicks George to the ground.
That guy.
He points, only to realize that George is gone.
Shit, he's gone.
Who?
Not sure his name. You know, any Latin punks with a golden gun.
Jacob and Patel exchange glances. She takes out her radio.
Find out. I want an APB on Jorge Gutierrez.
She joins another officers in the search while Alvarez and Jacob stay with Emmy and Marco.
I know you. You were at the hospital with that poor girl, and now you're here.
You sure? Might have been someone who just looked like me.
She also wore a mask covering her face. Mind pulling that down?
Sure, after every one of your officers turns off your body cameras.
You have a problem with being recorded?
I got a problem with unlawful invasions of privacy. Big brother, eye in the sky. Gotta watch out for all that facial recognition tech. That's how they get it.
Hell, who gets you?
Oh,
the Illuminati. They use radio waves in the air to steal the thoughts from your mind. Why do you think they banned Alex Jones? They know the truth.
Detective, I think she means to exercise her right to privacy.
Yeah,
I got that.
Exercise.
Yeah.
Exercise. Wow. Do you know you need exercise for privacy?
That's right, yeah.
Exercise?
Yeah,
Well,
exercise. That's what that course says. If you will excuse me.
Can I at least get a name?
Smith. Emily Smith.
That's clever. Emmy walks back to her crossover.
Miguel, I'll catch up with you later.
You're a key witness, Hermanito.
So are all the traffic cams. Trust me, I'll call you tonight.
Marco jumps into the crossover with Emmy and she pulls away. Jacob stares at her as she leaves, takes out his cell phone.
Sir.
Hey, Jake, how you doing? Been a while.
Miller, keep an eye on that silver crossover. Yes, sir.
Interior Emmy and Lolita's apartment day. Emmy and Marco enter the apartment.
My head is still spinning from when that guy whacked me.
She stretches her arms.
And I ache all over.
Marco goes into the kitchen.
You have any tea?
In the cabinet, I think.
Marco searches through the cabinet, finds a tea bag.
Want some?
Emmy opens the fridge, pulling a bottle of wine.
Marco's not gay, by the way.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Just wait until he orders a glass of water with a slice of lemon.
She sits at the kitchen table.
That's when you know. That's when you know.
Yeah. All right, Marco.
I don't know. I might have to card you.
Emmy's eyes click black.
Shit.
She stands up, scrunching her finger up her knee.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, officer, I can't find my ID. Do you want to search me for it?
Marco shoots her a look. Emmy spins around. Her eyes click normal.
What are you doing?
I'm revving his engine. Just go with it.
Emmy?
Emmy spins around.
Sorry,
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Emmy sits down drinking her wine.
Vroom, vroom.
Emmy gets up from the kitchen. Emmy's bedroom. Emmy closes her bedroom door.
Would you shut up?
Lolita passes out of Emmy and puts her hands on Emmy's shoulders.
Come on, sweetie. You got to grow up sometime.
Emmy, I'm gonna go.
Shit.
Living room. Emmy returns as Marco exits the apartment, closing the door.
Great. Now you made him think I'm crazy.
Outside hallway. Marco stops hearing voices.
You like him. He's going to figure out your secret sooner or later.
But not tonight.
Kitchen. Emmy returns to the kitchen table, takes out her glass of wine.
You got to get him in bed first. Give him a taste of that ginger pussy, and he'll be simping after you forever.
Yeah, that should be. Yeah, be simping. Yeah, he'll be simping after you forever. You're disgusting.
Does he believe in God?
I don't know. Why does that matter?
The last thing we need is him praying for you. Then we got angels banging down our door.
Emmy takes a breath.
So you better get him simping or we're both dead.
Hallway. Marco sighs, heads down the hall towards the elevator.
Now, why would Emmy be dead? I don't understand why Emmy would be dead. If the power of Jesus compels Lolita to leave Emmy, why does that kill Emmy?
So based on a conversation in a previous episode, the easiest way to excise Lolita to hell is to kill Emmy.
Oh, okay. Right.
So that's easier. Not saying that it's not impossible. Oh, okay. It's easier. So she's So she's kind of, that's what they're going with.
Okay.
And she's a demon, so she's not entirely being 100% honest.
Sure, fair enough. All right. So, well, we had sex, and that was cool, and we had some action. Yeah, like Emmy was channeling a demon and fighting. It was like demon foo, and I feel like she was kind of slaying some folks. So we had some sex, we had some action, we had some witty banter. You know, all in 10 pages. Larry, what do you think?
Pretty much the same things you just said. I don't really have much to add to that. So.
Skinny.
I enjoyed the action a lot. My favorite part was Melter masturbating while viewing.
There you go. Yeah. I feel that was him too. So
Yeah.
I mean, all around it flowed to it. There was a lot of banter. There was a lot of action. There was, some breaks in between as well, which is always a good thing. Yeah. I'm still confused about the random masturbating guy, but we'll just roll with it.
Random masturbating guy is going to be random. He's not anybody important. He's just...
thank God we inserted that into the script.
I mean, it's important. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're,
it's like in those horror films. There's always some voyeur creep in on.
Right. That's kind of what I was going with. They're in a big city. You always got your voyeurs that have those high-rise apartments with binoculars looking to see into other people's apartments, and he just happens into this one, and it's really, really going hot and heavy.
Gotcha.
All right. What's up? What's up?
Hey, Big Steve.
So we got a lot of people on the chat today.
Yeah, I know, man.
Moby's not here.
Yeah, I know.
No.
I know.
Where is he?
I'm gonna tell you right. I miss having Moby around.
He'll be around eventually, I think.
Yeah, he
like
took
our
some time off.
like the best.
Lost. Yeah,
he's like the best voice actor here and stuff. Like he's good at making voices. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a COVID loss. So,
yeah.
He's taking.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
I wanted to dedicate these pages to him because that's where I got my simping idea. It was all from Moby. That was
from Simptagion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
a pretty good book actually.
As Simp Beast, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Moby's going places. I mean, some people have expressed that he will never amount to anything, but I think they're wrong.
I think they're wrong.
He's got
yeah.
He's got a whole damn store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Savage.
I really like voicing Marco and stuff. No, I'm just joking.
That's okay, man. It's okay.
Would the sex scenes better if the women were thicker?
What? I don't really know what these. I'm not sure what these characters look like and stuff. I just kind of
I posted them in the MT Tal chat.
Let's not discuss that. But they are the opposite of thick. How's that?
Yeah.
Well, the added sex scenes are pretty good. And I kind of enjoyed the little meta references to Alex Jones and like conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Right.
Although that may become dated. I mean, I don't know if you worry about it, but like
I feel like
maybe really dated.
I feel like Alex Jones and Illuminati are pretty. They age a lot because that dude's been around since the late '90s.
To be honest, I did write this 2 years ago in 2019, right around the time I think I wrote this episode shortly after he got blacklisted on like YouTube and everywhere else. That was still in the news when I was writing this episode, and I'm like, perfect idea. And of course, this was also before COVID, so I got basically my superhero character donning a face mask to shield her identity, and she's talking to a cop, and the cop's telling her, "Hey, I want to see your face," and she's basically saying no. So I'm thinking, okay, I need an idea for her to say no. Oh, I know. Alex Jones just got banned for crazy conspiracy, so I'll make her a crazy conspiracy nut. Or say she is as an excuse, and So
I mean,
and I'm glad that it got a laugh out of some of you guys because it was really meant to be a kind of a lighthearted, joke type of thing. It really wasn't meant to be a diss on anybody. I was just trying to think, like what can I what can I do to be fun and funny and lighthearted on it. So
yeah, as long as I would say as long as it's kept in moderation, I think I think it's pretty funny.
That's the only time I ever mentioned it. He never comes up again, and that was
okay because
because I know that there's some offensive things that people do that they will say either attribute to him or say about him that may or may not be true, but they want it just because they want to diss on him. I kind of picked that because it was one of those crazy things that I think would be more haha funny rather than a serious diss.
What I was just saying was
because I have nothing against the guy personally either. It's just, as I said, I just thought it was funny to do.
Oh, what I was just saying, I was just saying because it's just in some shows, especially in today, they tend to rely heavily upon references for their punchlines in jokes and stuff.
Right. Yeah, this is the only time it comes up.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it never becomes a thing later.
Okay.
There's actually in a future episode, there's a scene where Jacobs and the other police are talking about Emmy always wearing a mask. And the police officer's like, yeah, only criminals wear masks. And the other police officer says, well, Batman wears a mask. So it's kind of built on the same idea because Batman is technically a criminal.
He's a criminal.
So, it's one of those things that's reoccurring. But
cool.
Yeah.
According to Jake, Alex Jones is eternal.
There we go. All right. Any other?
Diane wants Peter.
Let's see. Did we go through everybody? Larry? Jenny?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Constructives.
I got a few. They're not necessarily big. The gun thing, of course. Submachine guns don't have hammers. I would research that a little bit more because you're going to really confuse the artist or whomever's reading the script. These are nitpicks. My biggest one, and I got to be a stickler about this because I like auditors a lot. The right to privacy does not exist when you're out in public. It's only the reasonable expectation of privacy, like having things in your pockets be unseen, but your face and being recorded is no. The officers wouldn't fly with that. I would. You don't have to make any major changes. Just have the officers call bullshit on it. Be like, no, we're not doing that. That's not a right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
But that's all I got, really. Beyond the random masturbating guy, I don't know. He doesn't add to the story.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's there. I do like
there needs if you want Alex Jones, there has to be a line about Parent Frog's gay.
Yeah.
I don't get what that reference is, though.
Alex Jones. That's the biggest Alex Jones conspiracy.
Yeah.
What, frogs are gay?
No, they're putting chemicals in the water to turn the frogs gay.
Hold on.
Yeah, basically.
That line was actually based in truth because they were putting chemicals out there that were that were forcing frogs to transition.
Yeah.
So
that's
the conspiracy
can do that, yeah.
Yeah, so the conspiracy is that the chemicals in the water might explain why you see so many people growing up effeminate and potentially becoming trans.
Yeah. It's like the estrogen pills and the
soy boy thing.
Wait.
Yeah.
Are we ready? Hold on.
All right. Oh, you got it. Okay.
Share stuff here. Share screen. Chrome tab.
Oh man.
Gay frogs. Share audio. Share. All right. Ready?
I am always ready for this.
Okay. Wait. I feel like I can make it bigger. There we go.
In the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay frogs.
Oh, I love it.
And then
Won't you fight for your life? Frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like a frog.
Anyway, so yes, that is great. All right.
Love it.
yeah.
Wow.
And there you have the origins of Ethan Van Sciver.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cyber
man.
Frog's true origin story. Yeah.
So like
You
that
can blame the government. for
that
Comicsgate.
meme and those videos that just blew up, and whenever people were talking about Alex Jones, is gay frogs.
That's
Okay.
that's the Alex Jones meme. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I don't know if it'll reference what I was trying to reference, but
It's
But
that's Alex, exactly.
Yes.
yeah, I just but yeah, I just think like yeah, like I said before, it's just like as a constructive criticism, it's just always be careful when it comes to like references and jokes, because I just noticed a lot of material tends to just use those as a crutch, and after a while it just gets kind of grating and stuff where so many stories use the same type of humor that they don't try anything different and branch out.
I got you. Yeah, totally got you. As I said, that was not my intention. I used it only this one time as kind of an excuse as to, she's trying to hide her. She's claiming that she's trying to hide her identity from, Big Brother's surveillance state, when really she knows that if she takes it off, she'll be ID'd because she's still wanted for 2 murders.
Yeah, sorry, where does this take place in again?
What do you mean, where?
Like, what are they in a different country, or are they in America?
They're in a unspecified large city in America.
Oh, okay. Because I was kind of curious to know, like, the excuse that she made, like, if they were in a foreign country, would that even fly when you bring up the Illuminati and stuff?
Yeah, no, it's loosely based on Los Angeles, but I'm not specifically specifying what city they're in, so that I can pretty much do whatever I want with the city. And because this is a Daz comic, I'm kind of limited by what assets I can buy. So I'm basically just using their generic big city models for my cities. So this way I don't have to worry about the buildings looking right or anything like that. I never say where it is, but it's kind of loosely based on the way it's kind of set up, like LA. Like
you should call it Libido City.
I just basically refer to it as Metropolis or the Metro. Not Metropolis as in proper name, but more as it's like when the police show up, then they kick a door down, they say it's Metro PD.
Yes.
It's just generic. It's like it could be anything. It's anywhere. It's
Raccoon
just
City.
Metro.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just saying, like, it's since the story's called Dominatrix, like, try and put in a sexual reference to the name of the city, because I feel like that would make it very funny.
The city of Labia.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Those are all the scripts we had. Because I don't think we were unsure if he wanted his read on the air. So.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I mean, unless I misunderstood.
Yeah, he
him.
said he did not. He
Right,
just figured we would want to look at it.
All right. Well, those are all the scripts we
You
got.
put that in mentoring next time, and if he wants us to look at it. So anyway.
But all right.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Next week I should have some more fantasy pages, and maybe an update on Fantasy Pirates. We'll see.
Ooh.
Hey.
And the
Fantasy Pirates in a different location rather than the Caribbean.
Yes, updated Fantasy Pirates. And hey, Steve, I love all my folks. I've been missing you around. Hope everything's okay. Hope you haven't fallen. Cheyenne, I love having fans, and it's awesome. So I will tune in next week. We'll go over more pages. We're gonna have more time. And maybe we'll even have some new writers stop in. Who knows? But this has been Press Polter, Pocket Jacks Comics. Thank you very much for your time, everybody. Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.